be this honest, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind, like a turd in the wind, like a turd in the wind, like a turd in the wind.
Venom. What a shit show. Hey guys, let's talk about Venom, the latest superhero product film made by Sony. And it is a product, a manufactured product with a checklist full of awkward fan service and cringe-inducing laughable action sequences. And it felt like one of the most cynically put together superhero action films I've ever seen. But wait, no, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, this isn't a typical superhero film. No way! This is a film about an anti-hero, not a superhero. And that's not something the studio's marketing wants me to believe. No way! The world has enough superheroes. Yes, and the world also has enough shitty comic book movies made by Sony, but I digress. Look, we all know who Venom is. He's the villain from Spider-Man. We all know he's a very popular and beloved character. Even though he's mainly a villain and only works well when he's playing against Spider-Man, Sony felt the need to give him his own movie because, fuck it, they own the property and they need to do something with it. You know, fuck, let's just shit out a fucking movie. Why not? That's always a good idea, right? Although Sony produced it, it was actually directed. Someone actually directed this movie. It's crazy, I know. It was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who cares? And it stars an incredible cast too good for this movie. Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams, and Riz Ahmed. To put it simply, the film centers around the character of Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, a journalist trying to take down and expose a super generic villain man, played by Riz Ahmed, who has secretly been doing scientific experiments on human subjects. While investigating one of the experiments, Eddie merges with a parasitic symbiote and becomes Venom. Also, Michelle Williams plays love interest and comes in and out of the movie to try to help Eddie gain back control of his life. That's basically it. That's what happens in the movie for almost 2 hours. That's the movie. Now, I'm not totally trying to shit on this film relentlessly. I had high hopes for Venom, I really did. I wanted something different, something more unique, something that would stand out on its own against all the generic blockbuster fare we've had over the last decade. I don't have a particular love or hate for comic book movies either. I like films that stand out on their own regardless of genre. And I love Tom Hardy. I fucking love Tom Hardy. He is by far one of my favorite contemporary actors working today. He knows how to disappear into a look, a character, a personality in each role that he undertakes. And I love Michelle Williams. She is truly amazing in everything I've seen her in. And Riz Ahmed has shown phenomenal work in films such as Nightcrawler. So what happened then? Venom had all this potential and makings to do something truly different and unique, but in the hands of Sony, it played it safe yet tried to be daring in a way that just fell flat. And I don't want to beat the dead horse of Sony's reputation like everyone else has. Sometimes they distribute a true masterpiece, but more often than not, they squander and missed opportunity, especially when it comes to their bigger budget franchise films. And I would add Venom to that long list of spectacular failures. It's certainly not the worst movie I've seen all year. In fact, I had a lot of fun with Venom. A lot of it being unintentionally hilarious. I would say the actors do what they can with the material they're given with this script. Tom Hardy at times brings some mildly interesting choices with his charm and likability into his performance, but the character of Eddie Brock is so very one note. I mean, this guy's been Bronson, he's been Bane, he's been Mad fucking Max, and so many different amazing unique characters over the years, and this is definitely my least favorite role I've ever seen him take on. Riz Ahmed is very hammy as a cartoonist over-the-top antagonist. It's a different version of the same one-dimensional villain you've seen in every generic blockbuster. Michelle Williams is just as bland and one-note as her co-stars, and her talents are extremely dumbed down and wasted for her character and performance. Though I got some joy out of her scenes with Hardy. These are definitely two actors I've wanted to see on screen together, and hopefully they get the opportunity to work together on a better project. What I will give this film is its consistent tone, which is very comedic and silly. It gives you a sense of what this movie is right off the bat. It doesn't take itself too seriously and seems a little self-aware for the most part. It even makes itself more hilarious when it tries to be creepy or serious or shows any attempt at dramatic tension. It is very lighthearted and laughable throughout, and call me crazy, I just don't think that's what the producers were intending for. And with that tone, brought a huge disappointment for me. I mean, this film could have been anything, okay? You could have done anything, Sony. You could have done anything. You could have taken a dark sci-fi horror route, you could have taken a gritty character piece direction, but no, this is what you get. You had so much potential, and this is what you fucking gave us. This is what you shat out on display, Sony, which is more in line of a mediocre comic book film from the 90s.
Like a turd in the wind.
It really does take its time in setting up Brock's transformation into Venom and then speeds more off the rails from there, giving the pacing a very uneasy rhythm. I did enjoy the back and forth between Venom and Eddie Brock, although it seemed to play more for comedy, and that felt like another missed opportunity to do something special. With all the chaos and craziness that goes on when Venom enters the picture, it still feels incredibly held back from being truly insane. If you're going for this really absurd comedic direction, balls off the wall, pedal to the metal, you might as well go full Tommy Wiseau or Nicolas Cage crazy. And of course, I should mention the PG-13 rating the studio wanted for this film, which really weighs down the action sequences that are just so laughable. They even used the freaking Wilhelm scream in this movie. The Wilhelm scream! Then they market this as some big, epic, anti-hero, violent film that just came off as so bad it's almost funny good. I didn't even really mind the CGI. It wasn't anything special or amazing, but the design of Venom really fell in line with the tone of the entire film. There have been many great film adaptations and franchises that have done extraordinary things with their source material. From Mad Max Fury Road to Spider-Man 2 to the Dark Knight trilogy, these are films that took something from its original source, made the story and characters interesting, and developed things deeper for a truly remarkable cinematic experience. Venom does none of this. Ultimately, I'm disappointed by the direction they went for, but this was put together by a studio rather than inverting any interesting filmmaking or storytelling. And look, this is something you know you're already going to enjoy or not. It was definitely fun and does cater to the fans, so any negative criticism won't sway you from seeing this. As for myself, I was too morbidly curious not to see this shit show on the big screen. It was entertaining in a bad but fun kind of way. People clapped in my theater and cheered with enthusiasm that really brought a lot of joy to my experience. But for me, I'm gonna rate Venom 2 out of 7 stars. So that was my take on Venom. What did you think? Did you find it hilarious? Was it everything you had hoped for? Did you fucking hate it? Am I just another cynical asshole shitting on this film? Let me know down there in the comments. Come at me, Sony fanboys. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you be so kind. My name's George Ray. I want to thank you here for tuning into this review. And until next time, we'll all float on.
Like a turd.